One of the conversations that we have been continuing to have in my space is, burnt out wife appliances, because women are doing way too much, because they are looked at to be the servants or the caretakers of the home, and many women actually have jobs outside the home anyway. And anyway, regardless of if they have jobs outside the home and are doing the wife appliance roles in the home, they are just doing way too much. And women are saying desperately to their spouse or their boyfriend, I need you to pull your weight. And so this conversation that was going around threads is talking about women that that show that it's possible to do all of these things. And so that's what Lead with Jen is talking about. She says, let's talk about this opinion posted by multiple people. And I've seen this going around too, and I definitely believe that we need to have this conversation. So this is what has been going around. It's impossible for a woman with children to work 40 hours a week, maintain a home, cook, care for her children and possibly her spouse, and keep herself healthy. Is why women feel like they're going crazy. Each time I've seen it, there are women in the comments claiming it is possible because they do it, which opens up a whole other can of worms. Like, just because something is possible doesn't mean it's healthy, sustainable, or fair. Yes, Jen got it. Jen is putting it out there. It is not healthy. It is not sustainable. And we've seen it. We've seen the women that are literally cracking, and then they're just walking away, or they're just completely breaking down. Okay, she continues. Women have been doing the impossible for generations and burning out at record rates. Just because it's been the norm doesn't mean we should strive for it. Why does our society expect moms to do all of this in the first place? We've been conditioned to believe struggle is a badge of honor. But what are we sacrificing? Enjoyment of life, overall well-being. It's a lot to unpack, but I want you to know that if you are doing it all, it's okay to say you want things to change. It doesn't make you weak. If you aren't doing it all but feel like you should, know that one person was never meant to do it all alone. It's not a personal failing. If you find it hard to keep up with this standard, you are not broken. The expectation is. And this is why we need to continue to have these conversations, because a woman wouldn't be doing it all and here talking about taking care of her children and possibly her spouse. She would not be doing it all if she had a spouse that was all in and doing just as much, matching her energy. It should not just simply be on the wife appliance. I keep saying wife appliance because women are expected to do all of these things, and it is not possible. Something is going to give, and a lot of the times it is this keep herself healthy. That's the part that typically gives. A woman not getting enough sleep, a woman not being able to jump, to go to the gym or prioritize eating healthy. It's not possible to do all of these things because there are only so many hours in a day. And this is the reason why I was talking about yesterday, offloading or paying for some services, paying, if you have the money to get your house cleaned, or paying for a meal prep service. Like for me, paying for mine and my daughter's hair takes so much weight off of my shoulders, because it's time, energy that could be used for something else. That way you don't have to be doing everything, because regardless, you're going to pay in some form or fashion with your time, energy, or money. Everything that is required to get done in a day is going to cost, but how much energy you have to use is completely up to you. And I want women to get to the point where it is okay to rest. It is okay to offload things, and you're not any less than if you can take a nap, if you can say, I'm not doing this today, if you can say no to an engagement or something. You do not have to do everything, because it is not sustainable. Let me get into some of these comments. Feminist says, yep, my mom did it all, except she was burnt out, secretly depressed, had low self-esteem, frazzled, underslept, and seemed to hate life while putting on the show that things were happy and perfect when people were around. My dad praised her for this and how much she sacrificed because she's the ideal wife. He didn't care that she felt like every day and hated being a mom. And this is the type of thing that daughters see. And this is one of the reasons why so many women are saying, no, I don't want that life. I saw that life. That life looks terrible. I don't want to be a stressed, overworked mother because my mother did it, my aunties did it, my granny did it, and now I choose myself. I choose to be child free. It is making the pendulum swing the complete other way because women don't want to be frazzled without getting any sleep and hating life. Who wants to live like that? Sanctuary for Soul says, I've commented on one of these to say it is possible because I do it without struggling or overwhelm as a single parent. Most of the time, the burnout is due to overwhelm and lack of strategy. Change your mindset on how to approach things and work your schedule to accommodate. And you'll be surprised at how much you can achieve in a week and still have time for yourself. So this is one of the people saying, yes, it's possible. But at least she doesn't have a spouse that she has to take care of as well. That might lighten her load. But like she said, she just wants to put it out there. Have a strategy. Like I said, I still don't think that this is a healthy mindset anyway. I mean, I do believe that I'm juggle, but I also prioritize sleep. I prioritize health. And I do that like literally, I take care of myself first. So many people do put everything and everybody else first. I make sure I get my sleep. I make sure that I get to the gym. I make sure that I get water in my body because I can't be a good mother if I'm not taking care of myself. Stephanie says it's the gendered double standard that gets me. This should be more sustainable for everyone, but the fact that it's so much less so for women that men rarely even come up in these convos drives me bonkers. And I said that early on that the significant other, the spouse, the person that helped you create the kids, like literally they should be matching your energy and pulling their weight. That's the reason why women should not have to do all of these things. She shouldn't have to be taking care of her spouse because the spouse should be taking care of himself. So that should be lifted off of her shoulders. And the fact that the spouse should be all in with the children as well should be more off of her shoulders. Elizabeth said it's not possible. One or many of those things will be in survival. Your children will suffer, your relationship, potentially your career, and most definitely your health. It's not a recipe for a healthy life. In one way or another, it will be out of alignment. Or if they're doing it well, they have outside, full-time, or consistent support. Absolutely. And if you don't have support, like I don't have support out here in Las Vegas, I have to buy support. I have to buy things. I have to spend for services so that I'm not doing all of the things. You just have to do it sometimes. Sometimes you have to buy that support or you will just overwork yourself. Wild Jordan says it might be possible, but it's miserable and exhausting. Miserable. That who wants a life that's miserable? And this is the reason why I say a lot of times parents are the worst PR because they show that they are miserable. They look frazzled. They look stressed. Why would a single person without kids want your life when you look like you have been run down? And to that, Elizabeth says miserable and exhausted definitely isn't healthy. You need to be thinking about you first. You need to practice self-care and taking care of yourself overall, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, all of those things. Because if you are not taking care of yourself first, you're going to be a shell of yourself. You're going to be a husk of yourself. And like I said, who really wants to model that as something to be, as an example? Anyways, I thought that this was a very valid discussion considering all of the things that we talk about, the malfunctioning wife appliance, the man that keeps getting blindsided, and the man is getting blindsided because the woman is asking, I need you to participate. I need you to be hands-on and not getting anywhere. So it's like women are finally at least asking for more support, not getting it, and then walking away. So I think that all of this is connected. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.